Okay, so today we're going to be checking out the new FSR 2.0 update for Red Dead 2 on the Steam Deck. We're going to be starting it off with the lowest preset at 800p. Just running the game native, so we're going to have a control test on how the game runs on the Steam Deck. Alright, now our performance is sitting around 40 to 43 FPS outside of the town, and as we ride up, we should drop down into the high to mid 30s. So let's see, yeah, there we go, we're sitting in the mid 30s now, even the low 30s at times. The stuttering isn't as bad as the previous update when I did the video, but yeah, hopefully we can get a decent improvement. Ideally, I want to get 60 on the lowest settings, but I don't think that's possible. We're going to be CPU bound probably, and it's going to be very tough for us to get 60. But hopefully we can still get a decent improvement to play at those higher settings instead. Alright, now let's go and try out the quality preset for FSR 2.0 and see if we can see an improvement on our FPS. Alright, now using the quality preset, FPS seems a little bit lower than before. We're actually sitting in the mid 50s at times as well. While we were sitting in the mid to low 40s before. So we've actually lost FPS, it seems like. But anyway, let's just go ahead and ride up to the town and see if we will see an improvement. We're sitting around the mid 30s to around 35 to 37 FPS on average. And it looks like we're getting the same performance. Sitting at 35 to 37 FPS. Which is kind of weird, but quarter preset normally doesn't do much. Let's go try out balance and see if balance can do anything for us. Okay, now we're using the balance preset for FSR. I will be doing the in-game benchmark at the end of the video as well, just so we can have a one-to-one exact direct comparison between native and FSR, and we can see the improvements, or we can see a downgrade in performance, but hopefully with improvements. The FPS here seems a bit higher. We are in the mid to high 30s now. Sitting around 35 to 38 FPS. So if I was going to guess, we're probably being CPU bound here. This area is quite intensive on the CPU. A majority of our FPS drops happen in the city. When we leave the city, we actually get a decent FPS jump. We are getting a GPU headroom from FSR. As you can see, the GPU clocks are slightly down from native. But since the CPU can't push any more frames, we are still stuck to the same frame rate that we had before. And now using the final preset of FSR, the performance mode, FPS is still in the mid to low 40s outside of the town, and let's go and ride up. Again, I don't really think we're going to see an improvement at all, but let's try it out anyway. And we are still in the mid to high 30s. Alright, now we're playing the game around medium to high settings, so if you are far more GPU bound than before. Now our GPU is fully maxed out, and the GPU clocks are almost maxed out, sitting at 1.4 GHz. I do have FSR enabled as well, using the balance preset, and as you can see we're getting 35 FPS, and we're falling down into the low 30s once we ride to the city. Alright, now FSR is disabled, same settings as before. Let's see what we can do. GPU clocks are slightly lower, sitting around 1.3 GHz, 1.2 GHz. CPU clocks are actually increased a little bit. And FPS is pretty much the same, sitting around 34, 33 FPS. But we're not done yet though. Let's go and try this out with the in-game benchmark, and we can have a side-by-side comparison with FSR and without FSR. So yeah, that was it. I couldn't actually finish the benchmarks, it would always crash. And for the first run, I actually crashed the Steam Deck fully. I'd do a full restart. But on average, we were gaining around 3 to 4 FPS with FSR enabled at balanced over the game running at native. But I think the game looks far better with native. FSR has some issues, especially at balanced preset or even lower at performance, where around the characters and trees you will see some shimmering and some weird looking textures. But other than that, it does look really good, and you can use it if you want those extra few frames. But again, the option's there, so can't really complain about it. Alright, that's it for the video, guys. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. If you found the video useful or enjoyed it, give it a like. For the channel, I appreciate it as well. Alright, see you next time.